In this video, you'll learn about the new block widgets in WordPress. You'll see what's new, what's changed, and whether or not you can go back to the classic widgets. Let's begin. Hey, welcome to a new Tuts Plus tutorial. If we're just meeting, my name is Adi Purdila. I'm a web designer, and my goal with these videos is to help you become a better web designer and developer. Now, WordPress widgets, we all know about them, right? They're handy pieces of content you can add to your sidebars or widget areas. You can use them to display things like search boxes, recent posts, recent comments, calendars, and much more. Now, the way you add these widgets has been pretty much the same since they came out. On one side, you have the available widget areas, and on the other side, you have the available widgets. From there, you simply drag and drop a widget in the area you want, customize it, and you're done. However, as of July 2021, WordPress 5.8 was released, and the beloved widget screen that we've used for so long was gone. In its place, we have this, a new revamped widget screen that is more in line with Gutenberg. This new feature is called block widgets, and it's very similar to the block editor in WordPress. With this new feature, you can now add pretty much any block of content in your sidebars or widget areas. So not just widgets, which is fantastic. So let me show you how you can work with this new screen. But first, a quick word about Envato Elements. With one subscription, you'll have unlimited access to WordPress themes and plugins, web and email templates, Bootstrap templates, and more. There are millions of digital assets to choose from. They have simple commercial licensing, and you can cancel anytime. Subscribe now using the link in the video description. All right, back to block widgets. Here I have a very basic demo installation of WordPress on my local computer, and it's running the latest version of the platform, which at the time of this recording is 5.8.2. Now, to get to the widgets, you can do it just like before. Open the backend, you'd go to Appearance, and then Widgets. Or if you're on the front end and you're logged in as an administrator, you can go right here under the name of your site, and you can select Widgets. That's going to take you to exactly the same screen. So as you can see, this is now completely different than what we had before. And as I was saying previously, it resembles the block editor in WordPress, which is great news if you ask me. So here you have the widget areas. On this particular theme, we have only one defined, which is called footer. And we can simply click on it to expand or collapse. And then here you can basically see a real-time preview of the widgets or blocks you have added. You can click on a block. You can see some information about it here. And then with it selected, you have several options. If you click here, you can transform this into columns, group, search. You can change its position by simply dragging and dropping it somewhere else. Let's say here. You can also use these arrows to change its position. And then you can access some additional options by clicking the three dots here. Options like copy, duplicate, move, group, and remove block. So if you want to remove a particular block, you can simply click this link here, or use the shortcut Control Option Z. This is available for Mac OS. In Windows, you might have a different shortcut. And then after you make your changes, you can just hit Update, and those changes will be reflected on the front end. So now we just deleted the search widget. Now to add a new widget, you can just click this big add block button right here. And as I was saying, you can now add just regular blocks to your sidebars or widget area, not just widget. This just brings a lot of flexibility to the traditional sidebar in WordPress. So under text, you can see we have several predefined blocks here that I can simply just drag and drop and then edit to my liking. I can search for a specific widget. Let's say I want to add an image, and this just gives me the results of my search query. And then if we scroll down under widgets, we can find all the widgets that we can now add. So let's say, for example, that I want to display a list of categories, right? I can simply click this. It's going to be displayed right here. And once I select that block, now I have several options for it in this sidebar here. So I can choose to display it as a drop-down. I can show hierarchy if I have like categories and subcategories. I can show post counts. And then under advanced, I can add additional CSS classes, which will help us with styling this block differently. And just like before, once you're done with this, hit update, refresh the front end, and we now have a new block added to our sidebar or widget area. Pretty cool. Now, one thing to note here is that not all blocks that are available in WordPress can be added to a sidebar. So for example, if we go to posts and we open up a post, this will open it, of course, in the block editor if you're using the latest versions of WordPress. And if I choose to add a new block here, you can see that we have a lot more blocks to choose from. Right, so for example, under design, we have site logo, site tagline, site title. But if we're going to go to widgets, let me just open this in another page here, in another tab. If we add the blocks and we go to design, you can see that we only have a handful of blocks we can use to add as widgets or to add in a sidebar like we have here. So just keep that in mind, that not all blocks are available in the new widget screen. Now, you might have noticed that when I opened this post and I chose to add a new block, we also have widgets available. So we can now add widgets inside regular posts. So let's say, for example, that I want to grab a list of the latest posts to display inside my post. Well, I can just do that. No problem. I can choose different styles here. I can choose to show a bit of the post content, the excerpt or the full post. I can choose how many words I want to display in the excerpt. I can choose to display the author name, the post date, maybe even the featured image if I have something like that. So a lot of different options here. And if I click update, you'll see that when I open this Hello World post, I have the regular post content. And then at the very end, I have this block, which is really a widget. Really cool, a lot of flexibility added to WordPress with the introduction of block widgets. I think it's a great addition. Now, you can also use these new block widgets in the customizer. So if you open up the WordPress customizer, under the widgets category, it's a slightly different UI, but essentially you can do the same things like before. And the cool part is you have a real-time preview of what's happening in your sidebars right here. So, for example, if I want to grab this widget and move it, see, it changes position automatically, and you can see it in real time. You have some additional options here to change like the title, style, and just like before, you can add a new widget by clicking this button here. It's going to open up this screen. Let's say I want to add a list here. So this is like a regular block and it was placed right here. And I can simply go ahead and type away, create my list, and it's going to be displayed right here. You can also use this button to add a block with a slightly different interface. You can click Browse All, and it's going to open the same like pull-out menu that you saw previously. So once everything is said and done, hit Publish, and there it is. So what about the old widgets, meaning the ones you already had installed before updating to 5.8? Well, they should still work without a hitch, at least the ones from the WordPress core. But from what I've tested, even custom widgets are now displayed as block widgets, and they work 100%. So if you want to keep displaying that Chuck Norris joke widget that hasn't been updated in 6 years, well, good news, you can do it. That's possible because widgets that are not designed as block widgets are placed in the special category of legacy. We can then grab the legacy widget block and choose which widget we want to display, just like this. Now, in case you don't like this new screen for widgets and you want to go back to the old one, you can do that. The easiest way is to install a plugin called Classic Widgets. This will disable the block editor from managing widgets, and you'll get the old screen back. You can also disable the new screen on a theme level by adding this code to your theme's functions.php file. All right, time for some key takeaways. WordPress 5.8 introduced block widgets. This new feature allows you to add widgets and regular blocks to any widget area. Block widgets add a lot of flexibility to the traditional WordPress sidebar. Older widgets can still be used by adding the legacy widget block. You can still use the old widget screen by installing the Classic Widgets plugin. And that's about it, folks. That's how you can work with the new block widgets in WordPress. What do you think about this new change? Let us know down below. With that said, thanks very much for watching, and until next time, take care.